Very good afternoon. I am Dr. Shivkumar. Today I would like to explain a difficult topic on research methodology. Now, this small video is very much useful to all the budding research scholars and faculty members regarding research methodology. While coming to the meaning of research, it means re plus search. Research means searching again and again. Okay. While coming to research methodology, application of research techniques, application of statistical tools to research, it is called research methodology. While coming to variables, there are so many variables like independent variable, dependent variable, moderating variable, extraneous variable. There are four variables: independent variable, dependent variable, moderating variable and extraneous variable. Most of the faculty members and students are very much confused about these variables. While coming to the first variable called independent variable. Independent variable does not have any impact on other variables. While coming to dependent variable, take an example of x and y. X is the independent variable, y is its dependent variable. While coming to income level and spending of consumers, income level is the independent variable, say x. Spending level of consumer is called y, it is the dependent variable. It is having, x is having impact on y and y variable, dependent variable having its impact on x. Here x is called predictor variable, y is called criterion variable. Dependent variable is called criterion variable. Independent variable is called predictor variable. And almost all the faculty and students should have very good knowledge on these two variables called independent and dependent variables. While coming to, before explaining about moderating variable, I am going to explain about extraneous variable. Extraneous variable means x is independent, y is dependent, and extraneous variable we can say it is called z. Extraneous variable is the outside variable. It is having drastic impact and influence on independent variable and dependent variable. For example, marks, subjects ranks, performance is the independent variable, marks are the dependent variable. If performance is high, automatically student will get good marks. If performance is very low, student will get less marks. Here the performance is independent variable, marks are the dependent variable. Here the problem is z is the extraneous variable. It is having drastic impact on marks and performance. That z variable is called intelligence. Without intelligence, there are no marks, there is no performance. If student is having good intelligence, he will give good performance, automatically he will get good marks. Here, marks, performance are having causal relationship between these two variables, and z is called intelligence, it is called extraneous variable. Actually there is no relationship with marks and performance, even though it is having significant and considerable impact on marks and performance. That is the reason variable z is called intelligence variable. It is also called as extraneous variable, showing impact on marks and performance. It is about independent, dependent, extraneous. While coming to moderating variable is also having interaction effect on variables called marks, performance and intelligence. It is called moderating variable, or also called as intervening variable, or it is called confounding variable. Moderating, the difference between extraneous variable and moderating variable is extraneous variable is having considerable relationship between two variables called x and y and z, whereas moderating variable is having the interaction effect between these three variables called marks, performance and intelligence. X, y and z. These three are the moderating variables and it having considerable impact on these three variables x, y and z. It is about various types of important variables in research methodology. While coming to the sampling techniques, most important topic in research methodology, and most of the faculty members, budding scholars and students are stuck up with selection of sample. While coming to various funding agencies called DST, AICTE or any other funding agencies of both public and private sector institutions, including Tata and Birlas, most of the principal investigators are stuck up with topic called sample, and most of the research scholars doesn't know what is the sample size and how to fix sample and how to take optimum sample size and how to design their sample. Just in this session we are going to go through with the sample. This is called universe. This is called universe. Universe can be represented as mu. It is called sample. Universe can be represented as n. Sample can be represented as small n. Big N, small n. Here, the researcher, before going to select the sample, he is going to first select the universe. This universe consists of heterogeneous, homogeneous and different types of population are there. Okay. In that heterogeneous population called universe, the researcher has to select his sample. Before going to select the sample, he should study the sample size, the sample base, the sample parameters. For example, if I am going to select the sample of MBA students' performance in engineering colleges, first of all, I would like to make a conclusion on various engineering colleges in Andhra Pradesh, and I would like to go through with sample of MBA students in those engineering colleges. That's why it might be most of the engineering colleges, there are so many people are there, BTech students are there, MBA students are there, MCA students are there, heterogeneous population is there. In that heterogeneous population, I would like to select my heterogeneous population into homogeneous subparts called MBA students. Okay, and I would like to, in that sample, I would like to select only MBA students. Okay, in that, before going to go there, it is called, I would like to explain about random sample. Okay, sample is of two types, so heterogeneous sample, homogeneous sample. Okay, in a class of 60 students, I would like to see all the students, different types of engineering college students, classes students in the class of 60. In that 60, first year students are there, BTech, Civil, ECE, Mechanical, MBA, in that 60. Okay, if I am going to draw a sample of civil students, it is very difficult for me to select the sample of only civil. Why? Because there are so many people are there with different specializations and different branches. Okay, in that case, okay, I would like to take any student as of engineering college sample. I can get any student of either civil or mechanical or CSE, or any student will come as heterogeneous sample. Okay, if I would like to get only homogeneous sample of civil students, and I will divide that heterogeneous sample into homogeneous group, then I will get only civil students as my sample as homogeneous group. That's why the research student should clearly understand what is a heterogeneous sample and what is a homogeneous sample. That is about sample technique, selecting the sample. And next, sampling error. Sampling error. If sample size is less, automatically sample error will increase. If sample size is more, the sample error will decrease. That means sample size and sample error both are having inverse relationship with each other. Each and every student should identify the difference between sample size and sample error. Before going to select the sample, the researcher has to see that there should not be any sample bias while selecting the sample. There should not be any sample bias. If researcher want to show the sample bias, automatically sample error will increases. Automatically the precision of the study will get decreased. First of all, we have to understand the basic difference of sample size and sampling error before going to select the sample. That is the basics. While coming to the next topic is principles of experimental designs. Here, whoever the scholar or whoever the scientist is going to do any experiment, generally there are two types of variables I have already explained prior: independent variable and dependent variable. The researcher or the experimenter or the investigator has to manipulate only independent variable or either one dependent variable, and he cannot manipulate all the variables at a time. There is a basic rule of experimental designs or experimental sampling. Before, the researcher has to see that he can manipulate either independent variable or dependent variable. In most of the cases, the researcher has to manipulate only one variable at a time. That's why the researcher has to take care about experimental designs. While especially we are doing experiments in laboratories, the controlled experiments are only happened. Why? Because only one variable can be manipulated at one point of time. That's why while coming to the principles of experimental designs, there are three types of experiments are there. First one is principle of replication, principle of randomization, and principle of local control. They are the three most important principles the researcher has to take into consideration before going to do experimental designs. The first one is principle of replication. For example, I have taken a small land. And I would like to divide the land into two parts. I divide the land into two parts. Part A, part B. Okay. I would like to give one crop in one part, another crop in another part, and I would like to measure the differences between yield in these two parts. And just I am going to compare the harvesting capacity and the soil nature, fertility of the soil. All these factors are taken into consideration before going to dividing the land into two parts. And then after completion of harvesting, I would like to measure the results of these two parts, land A and land B. Okay. Principle of replication. Replication means doing again and again. Okay. Why we are going to replicate again and again means we will get a comprehensive and reliable solution after measuring again and again of two different parts of the land before going to harvesting and after harvesting. It is called principle of replication. Okay, and next one is principle of randomization. Randomization means random. The word random means by chance. By chance. For example, if you are going to play the playing cards, we will get diamond 6, we will get diamond 9, we will get spade 10, okay, on random basis. But we can't give any guarantee that diamond 6 will continuously come for 2 times. In the world, no one can explain about diamond 6 will continuously come for 2 times. That is why it is called principle of randomization. By chance it will come, by chance it cannot come. Okay, here by coming to principle of randomization, different parts of land can be taken into consideration, and dividing the lands taking the land into various parts, and we are going to divide the land into various parts as per homogeneous and randomization principle. Okay, and again we are going to measure the harvesting capacity of lands, what the researcher is going to select on the basis of principle of randomization. While coming to principle of local control, all the homogeneous land blocks are taken into consideration, and dividing those land blocks, dividing the homogeneous lands can be treated as blocks. The researcher can go to each and every block and he is going to check the quality of the land. and harvesting capacity of the land and soil fertility of the particular land, and he can measure the results according to principle of local control. With the help of these three principles of experimental designs, principle of replication, principle of randomization, and principle of local control, we can easily measure the quality and fertility of the soil and the crop with the help of those experimental designs. Thank you for giving this opportunity.